Hey everyone, Eli Schilling here, Director of Product Management for Oracle Cloud. In this video, I want to take a test drive of Resource Manager and show you some of the cool functionality that's available in this tool. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, we're going to come into the menu here, scroll on down to Resource Manager, and click Stacks. And the first thing we're going to do here is go ahead and just create a new stack. As we talked about in the lecture, there's a sample solution set here, and we can just pop right in and pick from any one of these available options if we want to get started quickly. In this example, we'll just create a default VCN. We'll pick the solution. We're going to use the default options here. If we wanted to, we could override what was stored as default variables in the Terraform config. We're just going to accept those, move on to the next, and create. Now, at this point, what we've done is created a configuration container, essentially. No resources have yet been deployed. So to do that, we would actually want to go ahead and run Terraform plan and then Terraform apply. Let's go ahead and run plan just to see how that plays out. This process takes just a moment. All right, and as you can see here, the plan has executed, showing which resources will be created, a total of 3 subnets, a gateway, etc. So we can go back to the stack details and we can run apply to actually create the resources specified in this set of Terraform config. Again, this takes just a moment. Since we're not creating any compute resources, it'll actually complete pretty quick, generally in less than 60 seconds. And there we have it. The job succeeded. We've successfully created 3 subnets, a VCN, route table, security list, and internet gateway. Pretty quick and easy, right? Let's go back to our stacks here. And I want to create a new stack using my own configuration. So what I have here is a zip file with some sample code that I've written. I went ahead and selected my load balancer as a service demo. We'll just call this my sample web app. And you'll see here there's a few additional variables included, the backend set name, the load balancing policy, there's a bootstrap file. So I'm going to pass some script into the cloud init, pick our compute shape, load balancer shape, network information, and then down here we can put our public SSH key in. We'll go next, create, and again this just sets up the stack. We haven't actually provisioned resources yet. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and jump right in and run the apply, and we'll create the resources. Now, given that there's some compute resources, a load balancer, backend set, it's going to take 2 or 3 minutes total. So we'll check back and take a look when this all wraps up. All right, so the job completed successfully. Let's go ahead and scroll down. You can see all of the Terraform logging here that happened during the creation process. And at the end, we'll see some output. So we have the OCI ID of the load balancer along with the public IP address. So we can go ahead and test this. Open a new tab, and voila, there is one of our web servers. And if we go ahead and just refresh here, you'll see that the web server number here is changing. So we're actually going back and forth between web server 1 and web server 2. All right, let's go back to our stack here really quick. And using the zip file was all well and good, but my organization has matured. We've started to use source control. I want to move away from having to package and upload zip files to just having Resource Manager grab my code right out of my source control. Let me jump back here to the main page. We'll take a look at configuration source providers real quick. Now, this is going to give me the ability to specify a GitLab source. So I would put in my GitLab URL, either the free public version, or if I have GitLab Enterprise, I can paste the company-specific URL along with my personal access token. And that is going to give me a source here that I can use when I create or modify my stacks. So let's go ahead and run back here to my sample web app stack. And what I'm going to do here, because the feature is not yet available in the UI, we're going to leverage the Cloud Shell to run a quick CLI command to change the source of this stack. All right, so this command is simply going to change the configuration source. We're going to point to our sample ORM source in GitLab, and we're going to use the master branch for this process. All right, so the update was successful. And if you go ahead and edit the stack now, we'll see here that the source is GitLab, the repository is my sample ORM source, and the branch is master. Go ahead and hit next. Actually, we can just cancel out of this. All right, so now our stack is pointing to GitLab. So coming over to GitLab, you'll see that I have my repository here. It's actually empty. I haven't pushed the code yet. Really important to make sure that the code that you use to launch your stack initially exists in your GitLab repo. So let's go ahead and run over to, all right, so you can see here I have the collection of files. I just basically unzipped the contents here. We've got the compute, load balancer, network, output, user data. All right, so we went ahead and just uploaded that code. If we refresh here in GitLab, we should see all of my content. And if I go back to my stack, we're going to run plan just to make sure that the code in GitLab matches the code that we used initially. Go ahead and close the Cloud Shell here. We're all set. Now the output of this plan should basically be no changes, since the code we used to create the stack is the same code we just put into the GitLab repo. All right, and there you have it. So everything's up to date. We just moved our code into Git, and we're ready to roll. All right, now that we've confirmed everything looks good, let's make a quick change to our Bootstrap file. Let's just go ahead and add everyone's favorite HTML code here. That's right, we're going to put a marquee into our HTML. All right, we'll go ahead and save this. If we go ahead and just apply this, the change in that Bootstrap config is going to require the creation of new compute resources. So upon applying this, we'll find out that the two web servers we deployed previously are going to be replaced, the new code gets deployed, and everyone's happy. All right, so the job was successful. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down. You can see it deleted the web servers, recreated a few resources here, built the new web servers, and we're back up and running. The load balancer IP address didn't change, so we can just go back, refresh the page, and now we have our wonderful scrolling marquee rolling across the page here. All right, so final component here, let's take a look at the discovery option. What I'm going to do is use an existing compartment as my source. We're going to point this at the compartment we've been using. And in this case, we could use selected services. I know I have a compute resource, a load balancer, network, or we could just have it discover everything. So we'll leave it at all, and we're just going to call this, we'll just call it that, and hit next. All right, so the creation process of this stack is actually going to involve querying the compartment for resources, building the Terraform, and then once it completes, I'll actually have a downloadable zip file that contains all of the relevant Terraform. So we'll give it a minute and we'll check back. All right, so the discovery is complete, and you can see here there is a download option. So we'll go ahead and grab that and take a look at our stack. Now what it's going to give us here is basically a single TF file for every service, but obviously we don't have resources from every service. So you'll see here a few of these are obviously larger than a single kilobyte. So core, that's compute, storage, and networking. Load balancer here, that's probably all that we have. So we can crack this open, take a look. All right, folks, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed those short demos, and have a wonderful day.